All right, Jailbreak Screen. This is probably one of my favorite screens. It's the most expensive by far. So we don't maybe get to it as much as some of the other ones because it kind of takes everybody doing the right thing on the all 11 guys doing the right thing. It's really explosive play, but we probably don't put enough time to practice it, so maybe it's not as effective for us. But it's done really good things. So I can remember learning this play from kind of a retired coach when I was just started coaching, and uh, he gave me I don't remember what you call them now, but the sheets that are like the clear plastic sheets that you put on that overhead, and I still have those in my file. So this is dating back a real long time, um, but here's how we do it. All right, so we're gonna throw the jailbreak screen, and we can run it to any of these receivers, right? Um, we can go. Sometimes we'll throw it to the middle receiver. We're going to show you that middle receiver will fake like a bubble route and come back in. So we tell them go 1, 2, 3 bubble and then come back in. Here's the timing of the quarterback and the receiver is this. We want to take 3 steps, one big, two little. You're going to come back in about 75, 80%. And the way we do it is we tell him to run right at the quarterback, 75 to 80%. As you get to the point where you are in line with the second receiver, then you start angling back in. And then that's where the quarterback wants to lead you into the tunnel. All right. And then you pick up speed and then you follow your lineman. All right. And we've heard the term, follow the wall of butts. That's kind of what we use. Um, So that's kind of the timing of it. It does take a little bit of time with the quarterback to be able to understand you can't rifle this in there at 100 miles per hour because the receiver is kind of running right at you. You got to have a little bit of touch, and you want to lead them right into the tunnel so they can catch it on the move. Again, if you could throw it to a receiver that is on the move, you have a much better chance, opportunity to get that 20-yard play. So that's what we're trying to do here. The receivers, they're just going to block the first defender outside of them. And, what we tell our guys is if this corner is really far back, you're going to push vertical until you have to block out. But you're going to try to push vertical to try to get your defender to go back as well. If he is tight, then you got to go right away. You got to block him out. Again, if he's really tight, then we're going to do the old basketball screen where he comes in and it's shoulder to shoulder so he can peel off that defender. But otherwise, we're going to push up as far as we can and then block out with our receivers. Our tackle, this is a 1,001 go pass. Sometimes this will be 1,001 go. It depends on the season. The timing does change a little bit with the linemen that you have in the game. Most of the time, we are 1,001 go. So they will pass that to the inside. The play side tackle, he's gonna go right down the line, and he's gonna basically block the flat defender. There's a decent chance that he's gonna block the same man that the third receiver is blocking. The play side guard, but we tell him he's got the play side tackle, he's got to block that guy unless it's clear that the wide receiver has that guy blocked. But for the most part, we want him to block that guy with the receiver to make sure, because that's the guy that's going to blow up the jailbreak screen. So we want to make sure we get him blocked, even if we double team him. The play side guard, he is going to do the exact same thing. He's going to pass set, and then his angle is going to be basically for the play side linebacker, inside linebacker. And this is really the block that receiver is reading to know should I go inside of him or do I have to go outside of that block? And he's just going to read the butt. So if he can kick him out like the way it's drawn up, then he's going to go inside. Sometimes he's not able to kick him out like we want, and he has to seal him inside. Then the receiver has to get on the other side of him and break out. So that's kind of the critical, I think, key for the receiver to know where to go. He's got to be that play side guard blocking on the play side linebacker. Everyone else, we set this up when we install it. We put up a bunch of cones and just in general areas, and so they all will take their pass set and they'll run to their landmarks, and that's just a way to get them to understand where they need to possibly go. But then after that, they just have to find a guy to block, and that takes a little bit of practice. Luckily, we do a lot of different screens, so they're a little bit used to being out in space and blocking in space. But it does take a little bit of practice. So we set the cones up, we have them run to that first, and then we take away the cones, and then we add some real people. Um, but the the basically for the most part, what happens is a play side guard, he's going to block that play side linebacker. The center usually has the backside inside linebacker, and then the backside uh, guard, he's working up to any other defender that's crossing his path, maybe a safety, maybe the backside linebacker. And then sometimes the backside tackle, the man farthest away from the screen, we may keep him in if we think the quarterback needs a little bit of time to pass the ball. So there is sometimes where we'll keep him in. Otherwise, we tell him he's the touchdown block. He's going to go get that free safety in the middle of the field, and so our receiver can catch it and go. Um, I will say this is probably a screen that we definitely don't practice enough, but it is pretty effective. I'm going to show you some clips, but you can see that maybe we aren't doing everything the correct way. Um, this is we're going to run it to the boundary, and we're going to throw it to the middle receiver. So the receiver is going to back out 1, 2, 3, and then come forward like it's a like he's going to fake it like it's a rate, like it's a bubble, and then he is going to break back inside and catch the jailbreak screen. Um, our tackle here, he gets flat, which is great, but there's nobody there. He stayed on his probably the defensive end a little bit too long. We go 1001, go kick him and go. We don't necessarily need these guys to throw these guys by. We do tell that tackle to throw that guy, so he's doing what we tell him. All right, but the timing is off, right? So whether we got to throw it a little bit later, but the timing is off on this because we want that tackle to be out in front. We want him to throw his guy like he just did, but he's not able to get out there. But regardless, all right, the corner on the outside is going to stalk block. The inside receiver is going to block out. So he pushes vertical as long as he can. Then he blocks out. We just don't have the guard and the tackle out in front like we needed to. But we're able to make a guy miss, and we're off to the races. So this play side guard right here should be coming up and blocking this linebacker right here. And the play just happened a little too fast. The timing wasn't right. Again, this is an expensive play, and that's why we kind of choose maybe not to run it every year, or we wait till the end of the year to put it in. This is This is a jailbreak to the left here. I don't think we have end zone on this one, but this was a big play for us. 2-minute drive. They're bringing the house. We were able to throw it out there. Our inside receiver pushes vertical, blocks this guy out. We're able to get all of our linemen out front. All right. The receiver's able to basically just be an athlete, right? Get a guy in space, make the defense make a play. All right, this is to the outside receiver, 2x2. Probably get a little bit too far. Inside he does a really good job. The inside receiver pushes up, blocks out. You see our lineman get upfield. He may have had a little bit of a lane to follow the wall of butts and bring it more to the middle. But he's an athlete. Sees a seam, he goes for it. Gets a good gain. We'll take it. This one we are too close. We're too far inside. I have them lined up too close, and we just got into the trash of that defensive end. But you can see we're able to. Again, we those guys are out there because they're dudes. So give them the ball, let them make a play. It's the end zone. So it should be 1,001 hi hat thrown by. That is that's a reason why to try to throw that defensive end, just so he doesn't sit there. If we can throw him a little bit, like we talked about before. Another one to the inside receiver, the middle receiver, I should say. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3. Went a little bit too quick there. We're able to follow the wall of butts, get a good gain. So we're stepping back 1, 2, 3 a little bit more. We're too close inside. Our tackle is kind of in the way. He should be down the line of scrimmage and be out front, not behind. Not perfect, but we're able to get behind the wall of butts and make a play. This is the same play here. This one, don't necessarily run it to the outside, but they're blitzing up the middle. We're just trying to get rid of it. He sees a hole, gets back to the outside, and it's to the house. Lyman get upfield. All right, make a play.